Hello, Windsor Warriors class of 2020. This is Mr. Osunde and
Mrs. Durost. Hi, everybody.
just so you guys know, we're missing you guys so much. We happened to pop into the office today, and we are doing our best to practice social distancing. That's why you see the table in between us, but hopefully you guys are doing the same as well. We know you have a series of questions, and you guys did an excellent job of submitting those questions in the Google Classroom. So today what we wanted to do is take the opportunity to answer some of those questions, okay? Again, great job on the Google Classroom.
Okay, so I've been very impressed with the work you've been doing on Google Classroom. I've been talking to your teachers. I've been checking in. Some of you have actually seen me in your classes, and I really am impressed. I know that you guys are still taking your studies very seriously, and we really want to make sure that we make the end of the year as wonderful for you as possible. So are we ready to get right to the questions?
Yeah, real quick, you guys should have received a letter yesterday on grading, right?
Yes, in Google Classroom, there's a letter that was posted. It went home to your families as well via email, but I posted it for you guys to see it as well. So if you open up Google Classroom for class of 2020, you can read the letter that went home to your families and explains the new grading policy for the second semester of this school year.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so we asked you to submit your questions in 3 different buckets, okay? We talked about academics, and then we talked about campus life. And then as seniors, obviously, there's been a tremendous amount of questions about end-of-year events, okay? So we're gonna look to answer those questions. We're gonna read the questions, and we're gonna look to answer some of those questions for you. Now, keep in mind, some of these questions do not have answers, okay? Because it legitimately changes real time. So we're gonna do our best to answer some of the questions. Again, we wanna thank you for submitting those questions. And if you're ready,
I'm ready.
let's get started.
Okay, so question number 1. How am I supposed to mentally be motivated when I'm depressed my senior year was ripped from me?
I think that's a very tough question to ask. And I can't even imagine how you guys are feeling right now. I know as a principal, and keep in mind, you guys were my first class when I arrived here at Windsor High School. Waited for this for 4 years, for 4 years. And we've seen a lot of growth from you guys over the last 4 years. So I don't know the cleanest way to answer that question because we are truly dealing with historical times here. And what you guys are experiencing is something that hasn't been experienced in debatably 50 to 100 years. So we want to first start with expressing our empathy and understand that you guys are warriors. And there's a very clear definition of what it means to be a Windsor Warrior, okay? And that means you're battle tested. You've been through a lot over the last 4 years, and you guys are really on the precipice of graduation and venturing into the world. So we're gonna do our best to make sure we hang tight to those things that are senior-based, but also understand that you wanna put an end to this chapter the best way that you can. So use that as motivation. But on top of that, you've got the world waiting for you in your future. You know, once we really move past this pandemic, you guys are really gonna be the future of our world. So hang in there, okay? We're here to support you. We're gonna continue to do things from our end to make sure that we retain or sustain as many of those senior experiences. All right, question number 2. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, so seniors get exempt from finals, but with a week of school off, we missed a week of grades. So how now my classes in both B could get raised, and how am I supposed to take my finals?
Okay, so I'm going to refer you to that grading letter that's in Google Classroom because I think that some of this will be solved through that change. What we're going to be doing is we are combining quarters 3 and quarters 4 into what we're calling a super semester. So you still have ample opportunity to bring those grades up. Please reach out to your teachers and ask them for extra help. I'm sure that they will be more than willing to give you the extra help. Another thing to think about is what you can do as far as making sure that you are checking on everything as often as possible. Go into those Google Classrooms every single day. Make sure you get those assignments done. Ask your teachers if you can do things that were due before and make them up. It's in your hands. We are still looking at what final exams might look like from a distance learning perspective if we're not back in school at that point in time. So So please just stay tuned. There's going to be lots of more information coming out about final exams and the end of the school year.
All right, question number 3. This pretty much just got answered with that previous question, but I'm going to read the question anyway. Will the grades be changed to pass-fail?
The answer is no. We're still giving out regular grades.
Very good. It is simply impossible to do math, physics, or orchestra remotely. What should I do?
That is very difficult. I can understand that. Again, teachers are new at this distance learning, as well. So they are looking at new ways to reach you, whether it's through videos or there's other software they can use that they're going to be presenting to you. So please be patient and reach out to your teachers again. Let them know that you're struggling and see if they have a new way of helping you, or maybe you'll find a different way that will help you as well, and then you can share it with your class also.
Excellent, excellent. So while Ms. Durost just touched on that, I want to give a shout out to your teachers, okay? I've never seen anything like it. Just the selflessness and the work ethic. They have been working extremely hard. You know, when I say extremely hard, I'm talking about almost 12 hours a day. And that could be overwhelming because they have responsibilities of their own at home. So make sure you guys are shooting out a shout out to your teachers. We have easily some of the best teachers in the country right here at Windsor High School. So make sure you extend your appreciation to them whenever you get a chance, okay? Because they're doing it every day, all day. And they miss you guys, all right? They miss you guys a lot. We hear it every day.
All right, next question. This one's for Mr. Osunde. Are we even coming back? And if school is canceled for the rest of the year, will seniors and underclassmen get the opportunity to retrieve items from lockers and classes at some point?
It's a very good question, okay? It's a very good question. This is really more about campus life, and I'm hopeful we come back, but we don't have an answer to that. You know, we're kind of leaning on the experts, the medical experts at the national level. We're leaning on the federal government to give us guidance. We're leaning on the state government to give us guidance. Every few days, or at least once a week, the governor of the state of Connecticut has a press conference, and then in their conversations at the state level, the commissioner for the State Department of Education has a press conference. So we're hopeful. We're not certain. I think a lot of that is based on to what extent we were able to flatten this curve of how contagious this virus is. If they feel it's safe, then 100%. We'd love to see everybody come back to 50 Sage Park Road. Windsor High School, our campus is a special place, and it's a special place because of you guys. So regarding items in lockers, okay, that's hard for me to say right now. Our custodial staff, and many of you guys know them by first name, they have been working tirelessly to disinfect and sanitize this campus. So there's been a tremendous amount of work going on. Your items are safe, okay? It's very, very safe here. And as we continue to get more feedback from those medical experts as to when it's safe to allow people back into the building, you will be able to release that information. You can come in and retrieve some items, okay? So hang tight.
Okay, next question. Now we're moving on to events. And I know this is what's really important for my seniors. Are we still going to have prom and senior outing? Where are we graduating, and are we going to have project graduation?
So those are some very difficult questions. And my answer to all of those things right now is yes, okay? So from us at Windsor High School, from us at Windsor Public Schools, we are committed to hanging on to those special events and experiences that you guys deserve as a senior class. You legitimately go through all of high school waiting for these experiences. So right now, as you guys know, the Bushnell shut down their venue all the way through August, okay? So right now, that's not on the table. We're hearing things that there might be a small chance that we might be able to resurrect that if they happen to pull back their shutdown. But that doesn't stop us from planning, okay? So right now, we're researching a host of different opportunities. Some of those opportunities specific for graduation have to do with having it here on the turf. We've gotten a lot of feedback from you. You guys really want that. Somebody said something about having it at night on the turf. Somebody sent me something about having it at Yard Goat Stadium, which I think is brilliant. And then there's also the option, you know, should this quarantine continue, there's also the option of potentially looking at something that would be done virtually. That is the least of our ranking. We'd rather do it in person. But again, based on the direction of the health experts, we're gonna monitor that. But we're doing some research we're trying to see what other schools are thinking, not just schools here in Connecticut, but across the country. And ideally, we're gonna look to have those events. So specific to senior outing and prom, okay, again, we're working with our vendors at Day Hill Marriott and also our people out in Cheshire for senior outing. They're under strict guidelines and strict regulations as everybody else is. If they cannot have social congregations, then they cannot service and support us for the events that we would like to have. So those commitments are still in place, but they're on pause right now, and we're in frequent contact with those establishments, and we don't plan on canceling anything until the very last minute if we have to, but hopefully we don't have to.
Okay, I think the next question was already answered about graduation, so we could probably go on to number 3.
Very good. I have more of an idea than a question, okay? This is pretty good. So basically, I feel like we should be able to push back everything in the summer. I know it's not the same as doing it during the school year, but if everything gets shut down, I think the summer would be a great time to do it.
It would be. If we can't come back to school, we are definitely looking at every single possibility we can think of to celebrate you guys. And if we're not able to come back into the building, or if we're not able to have prom and graduation in June, when we would typically have had it, we would definitely be looking at the possibility of maybe moving it into the summer. We are concerned about maybe people going away to their post-secondary plans. Some people are going into the military, people are going away to school, and we wouldn't want anyone to miss out on it. So definitely keeping all the options open at this point.
Very good. All right, this is another graduation question, Mr. Ross.
Okay.
If graduation can't happen at the Bushnell, is it possible to reschedule to another place like First Cathedral?
So First Cathedral is not on the plate right now, but we are definitely looking at, if we can't have it at Bushnell, where else can we have it? Absolutely. And Mr. Osunde kind of already talked about it at length, about all the different options open to us, including the turf, including here in the building. Again, keeping all our options open and just waiting to hear for guidance from the state. And, it's kind of out of our hands at this point, but we're gonna continue moving forward, making plans and trying to figure out what the best way is to celebrate you guys.
Okay.
Next question. Okay, this one's for Mr. Osunde. If we don't have graduation, will we be reimbursed our money for the cap and gown? What's it looking like for senior outing and prom? Is it possible that we can graduate on the football field? We got lots of graduation.
Yeah, a lot of graduation
questions.
stuff. But in order to graduate, you do need a cap and gown. So Ms. Morgan, who is the administrative assistant out of Dr. Larkhart's office, the grade 9 office, is our liaison who works and partners with Jostens. Okay, Jostens has been excellent. She has sent out communication, try and get some answers to those questions, and we're waiting for those things to come back as to whether or not there will be a reimbursement process. But hopefully, we don't have to worry about that, and we can have our graduation, whether it's here or at the Bushnell, and you get a chance to wear your caps and gowns.
Okay, so our last question is, what is going on with senior stuff? I want to know if I should buy a dress or a tux. I haven't decided, or if I should buy my finest pajamas for that night.
That's a tough question. I think you have to be, my feedback would be prepared for every one of those scenarios, okay? I think you should go ahead and buy your dress and your tux. I think those people that you're buying those things from are very aware of what's going on in the country and what's going on in the world. So hopefully they're a little bit more relaxed on return policies and things of that nature. I also know that dresses and tuxedos today in 2020 are far more expensive than when I was growing up or when Ms. Durost was growing up.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, I know 2 years ago, one of our seniors told me his shoes cost $600. And I know dresses are right around that same range. But I'd rather you be ready than not be ready, okay? So the decision is entirely up to you, okay? It's entirely up to you, but should hopefully everything aligned the right way and this thing gets lifted, we want to make sure that you are ready. But I also think that if you have a comfortable onesie that most people wear over Christmas break, if we cannot have our event, then we have to prepare to remain in that quarantine based on the advice of our national doctors.
Absolutely. That's the last of our questions.
That's the last of the questions?
That's the last of the questions.
Okay, so what we did is, there was a host of questions, but a lot of the questions were very similar. We synthesized it and we reduced it. So hopefully it gives you an idea of where things are at. I can't say with as much emphasis how appreciative we are of you, your patience with each other. Continue to hang in there, okay? Continue to be patient. And we'll give you answers to the extent that we can give you answers, because it changes every day, almost hour to hour. Every time you open up the news, you get new information. But continue to hang in there, continue to do things the warrior way, right? With the purpose in mind and integrity of character that's fitting of a Windsor warrior. We appreciate, we love you guys.
I'm going to tell you and remind you to check your emails, please. We're going to be sending out lots of communication. And remember, we talked about practicing adulting during our senior assembly. And this is one of those times when you're really going to have to do that. So check your email, please, all the time. Also, check that Class of 2020 Google Classroom. We're going to be posting a lot of information through there as well. And lastly, please be sure to maintain your social distancing, 6 feet apart, okay? We need you guys healthy for the end of the school year.
Go Windsor Warriors.
Yes.
Throw 'em up.